So this is a sneaky bit of course design because one of the things that works against you here is that you're rear crossing the dog. And so the dog comes out on this side, the rear cross turns him, and the first thing he sees is this jump. And it's extra subtle because we think of the weave poles as here's straight weave poles and there's a jump straight ahead and my cross should turn the dog. But we kind of have to realize that the dog exits at an angle on that last pole. They don't always wrap around that first pole. So you really have to think of the exit as being slightly angled from the direction that the weaves are going. So the weaves are going this way, but they're exiting on that red arrow. And so then again, that rear cross creates a turn, and the first thing they see on that turn is the jump. I think in this case too, your dog may not have read the rear that well, because I feel like your dog comes out really hard looking in this direction, kind of expecting you to be there. And so I think another thing that you might look at here is, did you put enough pressure on the rear to let the dog know you were doing it? I think that maybe your dog didn't realize that you had rear crossed, and you don't really catch up, so he's not finding you in his peripheral vision there. And so I think that the rear cross is a pretty large contributing factor here. Let me see if I hear any. I have to turn the volume up. All right, I don't have the sound here. Let me play it on my computer real quick and see if I can hear any of the commands. So it's hard to tell from the audio. What I can definitely hear is you call his name as he takes the off-course jump, so very reactionary. Maybe you were calling stuff before then, but I think this is a place where you need to give your dog a little verbal indication of where you're at. I think, you know, some people give a verbal kind of go on cue in the weaves, like a go, 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 or weave, weave, weave. And typically I don't think that that's necessary or even very helpful, but here's a case where I think that it could be, because it gives the dog, while they're weaving, it lets them orient to you and figure out where you are. So it would support that rear cross. But I think the main thing is more pressure earlier and then trying to catch up a little bit. And then I think your strong verbal, you know, come cue should come as your dog is exiting, not as they take the next obstacle. So it looks to me like you were depending on just the rear cross alone creating this turn. I think we've shown pretty clearly why the rear cross actually signals this jump, because the dog is on the line here and the rear cross creates a turn, and here's the turn, and there's the next obvious jump. So that's what I think about that section. I think that's pretty much all we have here. We started part way, and see if there's anything. Oh, yeah, that was pretty much it. So let me know if you have any questions.